I'm taking a walk in the cold. I'm rugged up. It's about to rain maybe, and it's cold after a cold day today. But I'm such a contrast to what I'm going to talk about. Is when I went to the outback, I drove from Newcastle, New South Wales, down to Port Augusta and up to Uluru and back, and spent some time down on the peninsula that I've forgotten what it's called, down through Port Augusta, and came back to Newcastle. So in about 6 weeks I think I was away, and I've never travelled in the summer, and I've never been to the outback before, and Uluru was just fantastic. I'll post some of those videos eventually on YouTube as well that I took then, but going in summer was, no one goes in summer. There are a lot of overseas tourists. There were not very many people travelling, but I went to the Cosmic Consciousness Conference, and I also wanted to go to, away from the coast. The coast is not a great place to be in the summer when you do mostly free camping, because the caravan park fees go up and it's just so crowded everywhere. So I went inland. It's the crazy person that I am. So what I learned, my mattress gets hot. It gets hot in the summer, and there it was like, I think the hottest day was 45 degrees, and the top of the mattress gets hot. Although I've just ordered a new mattress, and she said that it won't get as hot because of the way it's designed. Not only does my mattress get hot, my water tank is so low to the ground. At the moment it gets more cold than normal, but I couldn't use the water out of it because I drink a lot of water, and I couldn't use the water out of the water tank. I had to have it in a water bottle, a like insulated water bottle every day, or buy water, because it was too hot. It was like drinking hot water, which was no fun. I'm on a place where people walk with dogs. Very cute dog wanting to say hello. I've got fans to, the best fans, whose name escapes me at the moment. I haven't looked at him for more than a week. I've been out of my van. Venus is getting work done, so I haven't been in there for a week. So the fans that I've got I used all the time, and a spray bottle of water, so it would spray my skin with water to try and cool down a bit, because it was very, very hot. I did buy an air conditioner when I came back, a Coolsy, that is able to be run on my power, but not for very long, for about an hour or something like that. I ran it for 4 hours once and pretty much drained all my power. So when it's hot again, I plug that into the power at a caravan park, and that's how I have air conditioning, because I used it a few times. It's only a personal air conditioner. It doesn't cool the space, but it's heaven. You can put it on yourself on the bed, and yeah, it's very, very good. It was very, very, very hot, and the van takes on the outside. The coolest I've been this winter so far is 7 degrees when I woke up, but then I get back into bed because it's too cold. So my bed is lovely and warm, so I get up and put the heater on and then do meditations and things in bed, and then an hour later also the air is warm and I get up. Totally different to when I was in the outback, man. Oh yeah, and the road trains. Once you leave Port Augusta and go up the middle on the Stewart Highway, everything gets bigger. That's what I was told in Port Augusta at the information centre from the lovely lady I talked to, and it sure does. So the road trains are up to 4 trains long, not 3. And they're everywhere. They have trouble pulling up. I thought Venus was hard enough to drive, but yeah, it's incredible sights. And sometimes they would overtake me because I don't always. Often I'll just cruise at like 80 or 90, depending on how I'm feeling and what I'm looking at. And everything gets bigger, including the animals. So went through there's a period of where there's goats by the track and little babies and whole big families of goats. That's in New South Wales. and then I saw emus, and then and cows, of course, but when I went further I saw camels, and kangaroos, and not as many kangaroos as I thought I would. I thought I'd see a lot of kangaroos. Okay. Oh yes, and Ulara, which is what they call the little town at Ayers Rock, Uluru, they only take cards, they don't take cash. And I wanted something to eat. Oh, this path kind of ends here. I wanted to have something to eat and a drink, and they wouldn't bring me my drink. That's right, I ordered a drink and she wouldn't bring it till I paid for it. I've never been anywhere that does that before, so I had to order my food and drink at the same time and pay for it. I don't know, they think people are going to take off. It was really strange. Anyway, oh yeah, and trees, the different layers of trees. So there were dead trees standing, still alive underground. They weren't completely dead. There were so many different layers of trees. It's just, I got a deeper connection with especially trees. There's so many different kinds of trees there. I've got some footage I'll have to post of ones that were kind of blown up as well, where it was lightning or something that had come down through them and split them open. The different layers and levels of trees and how they're all interconnected. I got a deeper connection with nature when I was there. And I already have a pretty deep connection with nature because it's what I love. I'd much rather be outside, which is why I'm doing this now. And so many animals on the road. At one stage I had, there was a lot of lizards, and I was didn't hit anything anywhere, and I didn't want to run over anything. And so I had to watch out for lizard. And at one stage there was a lizard beside the road and on the other lane, and it stayed down, and when I went past it actually bowed. It had been walking and it stopped as I drove past. I would slow down for them, but this one actually bowed to me. It was a very special moment. One of the highlights on the road. I was driving for like 300 to 500 kilometers a day, so I didn't actually post that much on social media because I was moving. When I left Newcastle, I had a certain amount of days, like I don't know, 6 days or something, and I had to get to Port Augusta and have my inverter replaced because it crapped itself, so I had to order it in Newcastle, and I didn't have time to have it repaired there or changed there. So I went to Port Augusta at a Red Arc, someone that looks after Red Arc, and they replaced it. Lots of things break down in a van, so I've just replaced my turbo because Venus has done over 310,000 kilometres, and the turbo, I've had engine troubles for a while. I had a lot of carbon build-up that was taken away, and that mechanic said I didn't need to replace the turbo. But the mechanic I've been using here in Newcastle, who does a lot of motorhomes and is the Fiat expert, CR Mechanics, they knew that the boost was playing up. So I've replaced the turbo rather than rebuild it, and I've replaced all 4 fuel injectors because one of them was playing up, and I don't want to move out again. This is like the 3rd time I've moved out of my home, or even more actually, because I moved out when I was getting paintwork and rust proofing and stuff done. So I didn't want to move out again. So anything that could possibly give up or need replacing in the near future has been replaced. There was a coolant leak, so they fixed all of that. And it's quite extensive work. I expected it to be a week, and they expected it to be a week, but it has now been, it was a week and a day, but it's the weekend too. I'm just grateful that I got to stay at my friend's home here in Carrington. Oh yeah, and I had a soy wax candle, and it melted in the heat. It just turned to liquid. It actually was fine afterwards. When I got back, it wasn't. I used it, but it had turned completely liquid. I only use natural products for my skin, but also for like first aid kit. So I use colloidal silver, which I use on cuts and things like that. I didn't do anything really, just had a cut. Scratches and things from walking in the bush. Or one day I stubbed my toe because I wear barefoot shoes, and I had a bit of blood with that. But I just use colloidal silver, and I also have thing by my girlfriend makes this macabre skincare, which is all natural, and she has a healing balm. So I use that on insect bites and lips and cuticles, and it also works on scars, and yeah, good for insect bites. Not that I got very many actually, which I was grateful for. And I'd been told that your skin gets dry in the outback, and it does. I use liquid coconut oil moisturiser as a moisturiser at night time, and I had to use it every day when I was in the heat of the outback. And my walls are, I don't know, ply stuff, you know, whatever walls. I don't know what it's called, what walls are made of. I didn't put the walls in Venus, but they're joined together. Well, they're cracked. All of them have cracked. They haven't come apart or anything, but there's splits in them. Yeah, things really get affected by the heat when it's particularly that hot. It's just extreme heat. I was in Ayers Rock Caravan Park for a week, and I didn't need power at that stage because I didn't have the air conditioner, and so I just parked in the camping areas. I moved around during the day because it was so hot. I did it at other caravan parks too, where I could, and parked in the shade. It made such a difference to be parked in the shade. It was so hot. I do love the heat, but every single day, and Venice got so much hotter inside, you know, it got up to, I can't remember what the highest, high 30s. I think I didn't go to sleep. When I went to sleep, about the lowest it got was high 20s, maybe 28 or something, and if the nights cooled down, but they didn't very much. Didn't cool down in the nights very much. Yeah, but I would just keep moving around. It was quite funny. And I have two phones. I have an iPhone, which is what this is connected to, and I have a Samsung. And I had an iPhone for years, and the number was used for my business, so I thought I would get rid of it and buy a new phone. So I've got a Samsung, and that was like learning a whole new thing. And I actually prefer the Samsung, and it's the phone that I use all the time. But I couldn't get rid of my iPhone because the number is connected to authenticators and logins and all sorts of stuff. So I have two phones. I've got a lot of photo storage and stuff because I use iCloud on the phones. Depended where I was, but I use the same provider. I use an Aldi SIM, and I was in different locations, and it's very windy that way. In different locations, I got different reception. Like sometimes the Samsung wouldn't work. I also use that for my Wi-Fi. I do have an RV Wi-Fi, but it's still not working properly, so I have to go back to the Sunshine Coast and get that fixed. It drops out after a period of time, and it wasn't working when I was away, so I was just using my phone. And sometimes the iPhone reception was fine, and sometimes the Samsung was so funny. Anyway, I had to download music because there's a lot of places that don't have any reception whatsoever. There are a few towns, which I learned in far north Queensland in 2023, a few towns that only have Telstra, so you have to have Telstra, not Aldi Aldi is Telstra, but they don't allow that, so you can only have a Telstra phone. A Telstra, completely paid Telstra, so that's what my Wi-Fi is when it works, my RV Wi-Fi, when it's all fixed up properly. Oh, walking through mud again. Then I will be able to have constant Wi-Fi, because I need that for my readings. I need to be able to have Wi-Fi wherever I am. So that will get sorted whenever it is that I get back to the Sunshine Coast on my way north. Oh yeah, and roadkill. I've always had a bit of a fascination with roadkill. Oh, the weather started nasty. Hopefully you can still hear me with this wind thing on here. Yeah, the roadkill. I've always had a fascination with it, and it's in different levels of decay. So the ravens, the crows, will eat pretty much anything. The wedge-tailed eagles get on fresh kill only. I saw some of them, and at times there were so many eagles on, because there's not a lot of traffic. So many eagles on the carcasses, and different levels of decay. I had to tell a girl I met what one thing was. It was a cow and its stomach had like blown up, and there was another cow and it must have broken its leg. So that was all weird looking. Anyway, I get I'm a bit strange, but I'm really interested in roadkill. There were so many, and just bones of things, and the different levels of decay. Some of the cows, particularly in the outback, they just turned to leather. Their skin was just leather, because it had been there so long, so all the fur had come off. And no one moves the roadkill unless it's on the road, I guess. Then the trucks would just run over it and squish it, I guess. Anyway, yeah, I will definitely be going back to Uluru in the outback. I wanted to go to, I think it's the McDonnell Ranges, just up from further north, and before Alice Springs. There's a whole area there, and I really want to go to the Flinders Ranges, and I was surprised how long that is. I didn't know that it goes from actually further than Port Augusta, and a very long way along towards Cooper Pedy. Not that far, but a long way inland. I had no idea. I've got a bit of a map, but it doesn't show. I mean, I've got a map of Australia, but it doesn't show the mountain ranges. And when I was driving along, I could see some mountains in the background, and I would want to know what it was, but yeah, it was not easy to find. I'll have to get some better maps when I travel more. But for now, I'm in Newcastle, and a bit excited because tomorrow I get Venus back after spending more than a week at my friend's house. I'm grateful she's been away since Thursday. She's back today, so she left me stay in her home while she was away, because I didn't have anywhere else to go, and she's very cool about things like that. We're both very, what would you say, easygoing. Yeah, that's part of the complex where she lives. She's not there, she's further around, but it's a whole big bunch of townhouses right on the edge of the water. It's just too windy out there to record anymore. Anyway, yeah, some bit of my outback experiences. I've got lots I want to put on about. I've got a big book. It's just one of the pages out of it with all the things that I have, ideas that I would like to talk about, and it's taken me a while to get going and find the time as well, because I'm studying, learning coaching and doing my cards and numerology and runes, and trying to learn everything and balance all of that with my family and spending time with my mum so she doesn't get lonely. She's going to be going into some kind of an aged care place soon, so we're working on that as well. Anyway, there's a train. There's a whole coal area near here. So anyway, I'm going to go back now because it's cold and very, very windy. Oh, but one of my favourite places is here in Carrington, and this is the back door to it. Well, you can't really see it, but back there is the Carrington Bowling Club. I go there quite a bit. It's a really, really good club. A really nice place. That's how I met my friend Corrine. I was at that I'm staying with. I was at the jazz with my mum, and they have a jazz band, a New Orleans jazz band, and Mum loves jazz and I do too. So I'll be there again soon, dancing and meeting more people. I've got lots of friends there that I've met from chatting, older people that like jazz, and they tell me when jazz is on at other places too. And then I see them then and we sit at their table. It's great. I love meeting people, and I've got a lot of people in my life. And I remember most of their names too. Sometimes it's hard, but I pretty much do. Anyway, that's me for now. That's long enough. Much love, everyone.